Hello, I'm Pamela Kavatican, and I'm here with Corum Sanford on this edition of the Artist Spotlight. So let's get started. Corum, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I
sure.
appreciate it.
How long have you been acting, and how did you get involved?
I would say I started acting. I guess I did my first play my freshman year of high school.
Oh,
I lived down in Tennessee, and I played sports a lot, so I really didn't get to actually do a whole lot of theater because we had to have practice, and then theater would be right after school, and so I did my first play, and then I really got into film my freshman year of college. I was at U of L, and I started auditioning for about 2 or 3 months, and then I finally got a role, and I dropped out of U of L. I went down to North Carolina and did a film down there, and I've been taking it pretty serious ever since.
wonderful. Well, how many films have you done at this point?
I would say total projects, I would say it totals up to around 50 or so now, which I would say feature films, excuse me, probably 15 or so. I've been the lead in 6, but I've done numerous short films and, just working with buddies with cameras and stuff like that for, the last 5 years.
Okay. Well, of all your performances, of which are you the most proud?
Ooh, most proud, that's a tough one. I would say the most proud would probably be, I played E.J. McFlame in Badfellas, but that was my first lead role, which, meant a lot to finally get one. And, it was the first role that I actually had to sit down and was like, okay, I'm not just playing myself or some, jock high school where I just had to sit there and kind of smile and say stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was my first role that I really had to focus on and kind of dig it, do some research and actually do real acting.
Right.
So I'd say, as up to this date, I would say that's probably my most favorite.
Oh, so that was my next question. What was your
really?
favorite role? Yeah, so there you go.
I would say that I did I've actually been pretty lucky. I've talked to some other actors, and they've always, kind of mentioned something about actually playing like a real person. And, a lot of people have never had the opportunity to do that. And I've done it 2 or 3 times now. I played Dalton Hayes for Fuji TV network, which aired nationally through Japan. And then I played William Skeets Miller, who was a reporter for the Courier-Journal during the death of Floyd Collins, which was a guy that got trapped in a cave. So those are kind of special. Like, a lot of people, act their whole life and never actually get that chance to play a real person.
So was that your most challenging role?
Yeah, I would probably say the Skeets Miller was definitely my most challenging. It was, besides the physical aspect of it, we actually filmed inside of this cave where it was 6 degrees and you're standing in water this deep, and it was a miserable time. We could only film 10, 15 minutes at a time. It was so cold. But I would definitely say, for actually getting into character and, the physicality of it also.
Okay. So that did sound very challenging.
Oh yeah, it was.
What about the most fun role that you had? Would it have been the Badfellas role? Or?
Yeah, it's just on so many different sets. I played a character Tim, in a film that will be released here soon called Loss Prevention. And he kind of was the college kid that one of the main characters was kind of sneaking around and hanging out with, and he was just kind of like a laid back stoner, lived in a party frat house. That was a fun time to shoot, and it was exciting.
Yeah, kind of give you a little different thing. So what do you consider your greatest achievement as an actor?
Oh, greatest achievement, I would say, in all honesty, just getting paid. So many people, do all these projects all the time and never see any money, but, now the past year or 2, I've actually taken roles that I'm getting, to make money off doing
yeah,
it.
that's always important.
And I would say that's my biggest achievement. Is actually making some money from it.
Okay. Well, here's kind of a little. If there was a film that you would like to recall so that you could burn every copy, what film would that be?
Well, I mean, there's several. I'd probably I would say, at least over 5 or 6 feature films that never even got made at all. It's disappointing. You go and you put in all this effort and work into it and then never get to see the outcome. But to actually, burn, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that, but hell yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot, right
yeah,
on.
definitely.
Okay, so we've talked a little about your challenging roles, your favorite roles. What would you say is the most important thing you've learned about acting from the directors that you've worked with?
I would say, for a while it was just like, I was always just kind of trying to look cute, and you know what I'm saying? Like everything I did, I was like trying to, make sure I was looking good, like on camera. And then I had a director once like pull me over and was like, you look stiff, like, when you're trying to always look, good and make sure like this. And he was just like, dude, just go all in. And he was like, once you act normal, he's like, people are gonna think you look better on camera anyways, instead of trying to look good. Yeah, definitely. And it was but I also had a director one time tell me he was just learning he compared it to these levels. And he's like, when you feel like a real emotion, so let's say anger or whatever it is, once you're mad, you kind of step back and say, okay, I'm super pissed off right now. What level am I at? And he said, remember, if you're at a 6, and then you recall a situation while you're on film and say, oh, you're acting too mad or you're not angry enough. And so in real life, just kind of putting it to that level and remembering those in the back of your head, like, okay, I naturally felt like this when I was at this level, and kind of think back to it, which that helped me a lot too. I still have a lot more work to do, but to actually taking that serious the past 2 years has helped tremendously.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you how what you drew upon in your life to these experiences, life experiences when you're acting. So like you said, you were angry, and to draw upon that, what do you think about it?
I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's just every situation, it's like, oh, have I been through this, and how did I feel? And it's just, I do it all the time. Yeah. If it's something sad, I think about my great grandma or somebody close I've lost, or if it's something happy, something that was exciting and I was happy at the time, and I do that a lot, especially like when I have to cry.
Yeah. Do you cry on cue?
If you give me like 12 to 17 seconds, I can get it pretty quick. But I'm kind of a weirdo. Like when I do, every time I've done a crying scene, I'm kind of a upbeat, emotional person. So I always draw it to happy things. Like it's easier for me to think of like happy stuff, and then I just kind of change the facial expression. You know what I'm saying? But to actually get the tears out, it's easier for me to, draw back on something that I enjoyed, and so which is, unusual, I would think, but just easier for me to get the tears out.
For sure. Well, you do have a great smile. You got those dimples,
I appreciate it.
Yes, I can see where those happy rolls going on. But so on the same line as that, do you have a go-to thought that? Well, we already talked about that. Do you have a favorite actor or actress who's inspired you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on a much bigger scale, I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's the man. Yeah. But definitely one of my favorite. I couldn't narrow it down to just like one person, but if I could do like 3 or 4, Leo for sure. Christopher Watts, he's a badass.
Oh, yeah.
I love him and everything he does.
Me too.
And a lot of people all my friends and people I talk to give me shit, but I love Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah,
and
he's a good actor too.
He's a weirdo, but he's awesome. Everything he does, I usually end up liking.
For sure. So your favorite actors Leonardo DiCaprio, and you named some others. Is there a favorite actress that you have?
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra
Oh
Bullock.
yeah, she's so funny.
She is.
Yeah.
I think everything she does is just smoking hot too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sandra Bullock definitely. Let me think for 1 second. Let's see, Sandra Bullock. I would say I think Cameron Diaz, but that's probably because she's smoking hot too. But she's hilarious. Something about Mary. I could watch that every night. She's hilarious.
So you don't go for those dramatic actresses.
I
Meryl
guess not.
Streep.
I guess I got
smoking hot actresses.
throw my baby J-Law in there. I
Yeah.
guess Jennifer Lawrence. I got to put her in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about if you could star in any remake of any film? What would it be?
Probably The Sandlot.
Sandlot, okay.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
I would say either.
You have to be a little younger for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. If I could go back and do something like that, but I would say either The Sandlot or Forrest Gump. I think that'd be fun.
So do you like dramatic movies,
Oh,
action
yeah.
movies?
I
I mean, do you prefer one or the other?
Not really. I like a little bit of everything. I'd say, just for leisure, definitely comedy. I can watch any, like James Franco and Seth Rogen and all their
Pineapple Express
all
was
stuff like
hilarious.
that. I
Yeah.
can watch those every night.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm just gonna sit around, and I had to choose, I would definitely probably pull out a comedy film before anything else.
Well, tell me about your current project.
All right. Well, I just finished one called Nightblade, which was starring Todd Bridges from Different Strokes, and I kind of played like a gangster role. I did gangster. Ever since I grew my hair out to try to look older, it seems like all these mob roles just came rolling in. Yeah, I did like to. Yeah, I guess I kind of play it off still in real life. But yeah, so I just finished that one down in Nashville. I'll leave September 9th. I took a lead role in a film called Convenience, which is about this guy who loses his wife, and he's an old military guy, and he's going through like post-traumatic stress, and his cousin gets out of jail, and they kind of set up a plan to rob the roommate and get this money and go out, which should be pretty fun. I'm excited for that. And then immediately following that will be a movie called 75, which I'm super excited for. It's pretty much based around like the heroin epidemic with everything going on now. And I am playing the drug dealer, the heroin dealer, kind of the big guy, which, it will be tough because, so many people's lives have been affected by the situation, but I'm definitely excited for it. I think it will be something special.
So do you do a lot of pre-study, about the role? Do you do a lot of research?
Yeah.
And
I look into stuff quite a bit. I mean, I'm not a big reader, which is, I didn't stay in school long, but like if it's, kind of like a similar situation, when I was doing like gangster roles and stuff like that, I go more back towards like the older, classic movies and kind of watch people. And then, obviously YouTube's a great source, and watch other actors' interviews of kind of like what they did to prepare themselves. But yeah, I would say mostly I base it off of what, classic movies that have been successful and how the actors portray themselves in those films.
So you have your little drama action film, and then this would be more, the 75 would be a little bit more just dramatic.
Dramatics, I'd say suspenseful, definitely suspenseful, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's gonna be. I think it will be my most challenging to date, but I'm super excited for it.
I'm excited too. I can't wait to see it. So we've talked about you had quite a few lead roles.
That's 6 or 7 or so now.
So I guess you would find that more stressful maybe than having a supporting role. Do you feel more stressed when you have a lead role, knowing that you're sort of carrying this?
It's definitely more pressure, I feel like. But, a supporting role, it could be, just as big. Like, I've watched these segments too, and I think every actor that's been on here said the same thing.
There's no small parts.
Yeah, exactly. But, if I had to decide, that's, I want to be good at it. I take it serious, and I would definitely want the lead role over a supporting role, 7 days out of the week every time. No doubt about it in my mind. But yeah, it's definitely more pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. You know, that's part of it. You know, it's kind of, you're going to be kind of the face of this film, and so, you know, take it
Very invigorating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gets you going, for
Yeah.
sure. So at the beginning, you said you did some theater in high school. Is that
I
correct?
did a couple plays. Like I said, I played sports, so I couldn't. They always overlapped. You know, it was just kind of goofy, like Christmas time plays that the drama teacher down there had wrote herself. And I remember the first time I was like, I'm not doing theater. I was like, that's lame. You know, I was like playing on the basketball team. I'm like, and I took a drama class, and I think I had like a C, maybe even a D, and she was like, well, if you want to be in this play, she was like, I'll give you a B for sure, and you have a chance to get A. I was like, well, my mom's going to whoop my ass if I get a D, so I'll do this play. And we went through it, you know, we were going through the rehearsal, and I still wasn't super into it. And then the night it came, I think we did 3 nights in a row of the play, and, you know, once you kind of get that rush of, like, people laughing at, like, everything you're saying, I was like, that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So I ended up doing another one after that, and then, like I said, I didn't really come back to any acting until I got around freshman year of college.
Okay, so you did theater in college also?
I did theater. I never actually did any plays, but I like loaded up my freshman year at U of L, and like I had one semester where I was taking 2 theater classes, and then this semester after that, the one when I finished going, I took a theater class there. So my almost full year at U of L, I took 3 theater classes, which is probably unusual.
Well, I was just going to ask you if you'd done any theater outside of college or high school.
Nope.
No.
I've only done film. He said I started. My uncle works at a production company in Louisville called Video Bread, and I started hanging around there. And I was like, you know, they do a lot of Papa John's commercials and stuff like that. And I was like, I need to be in one of these. You know,
so you've done commercial work?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
wonderful.
Yeah, I started doing, you know, commercials and stuff like that way before I ever had the chance to do a movie.
Wonderful.
And then after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start. You know, I kind of had a little bit of resume of being in front of the camera. I was like, I'm gonna start auditioning for films, and I got super lucky. Literally the very first film I auditioned for, I got a part in.
Lucky break.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, I talk to people that's like, which I have, you know, I've probably auditioned for 500 different things, and, you know, to actually get one is really a blessing because they're hard to come by.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I know. Well, along the same line as like the theater, do you think you'll do theater eventually? I mean, do you prefer film over theater? They're so different.
Oh yeah, I definitely
and
prefer film for sure.
Yeah.
But I was actually just talking about that to one of my friends the other day. Like I would definitely like to do a play. Probably not anytime soon. I mean, like I said, just from the work that I had to put in for that high school play, I couldn't imagine how much goes into, you know, an actual big time play or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. I was like, but I would definitely in the future want to. I mean, you know, all it's going to do is just broaden, you know, your skill set.
Sure, because it's a lot more challenging. You don't get to cut
at
the end of the scene.
Yeah,
you don't cut at the end of the scene. You have to wait till that curtain closes.
I mean, I won't lie to you. I'm one of those guys. I'll probably, you know, I'm not doing everything perfect. I'll be asking for a line.
Yeah.
You know,
Line, please. Right. So, what are your goals that as an actor? What would you?
I'd love to win an
yeah.
Oscar. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I take it super serious, and you know, I would say my goal is, you know, I always tell people, you know, people all the time ask me like, you know, what if you're not going to be a big movie star or something like that? And it's like I always tell them. I was inside the actor studio with James Lipton, which I'm obsessed with, but Dave Chappelle had one of the coolest things on there, and he was like, you know, people would always ask me, and he was like, his dad took him outside one day, and he was like, well, what are you going to do if you don't make it? And Dave Chappelle was like, well, what's making it, you know? And his dad was like, you know, a lot of people do it, and he's like, well, you're a teacher. He's like, if I could make a teacher's salary by doing comedy, I'd feel like I made it. So I'd say one of my goals is, if I can do this as a living, I don't have to have a yacht and a Lamborghini or anything, but if I could support myself for the rest of my life by acting, I would say I accomplished my goal.
Yeah, I can tell you definitely enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So have you been compared to any other actors?
And
who would that be?
I looks a lot, and like I'll get all kinds of different stuff. Like even people that don't think I'm an actor. Like for a while, been in the process the last year and a half, like changing my look quite a bit.
Yeah.
I used to get told I look like James Franco all the time,
Okay.
and then I get a lot of people say I'll act like Mark Wahlberg, be like your mannerisms and stuff remind me of Mark Wahlberg. But like, yeah, I get compared to different. Some people said I look like Ben Affleck before.
I think a little Jason Patrick.
Yeah, I can see that. I get different stuff all the time, and I'm always doing my hair different and cutting it short and growing it out. But yeah, I would say out of most people I've been compared to would probably be James Franco.
Okay. Well, when you're not busy filming, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh shit. I'm always with my friends. Me and my friends, I did a lot of bouncing around growing up, and if it wasn't for my friends, no telling where I'd be. And all of us are super close, and we're constantly together. People make fun of us all the time because we're together so much.
Entourage,
but they got, they're
the hat for
yeah,
it.
definitely. They're my brothers, so we all, whether go out, have a couple beers, or just sitting around playing video games or hanging out. But yeah, that's if I'm not working, I'm usually with them.
Yeah. Well, finally, what advice would you give to an aspiring actor?
I don't like to think in the back of my brain that I'm in a position to do that yet, because I'm still learning a lot. But like I said, you're not. It's never going to happen if you don't get out and do it. Like I've told people all the time when I started, it was traveling, putting my own money up for gas and hotel, just to be in the background. But it's like you just got to do it. If you don't show up, nothing's ever going to come about it. And people think all the time it's just like, a one overnight thing, and next thing you know, you're a famous actor, celebrity, and it's just not like that. You just got to work at it every day and take it serious. It's a process, and just take it one day at a time, and every day just wake up knowing that's exactly what you're going to do, and until you get the goal accomplished.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Corum,
Thank you so
for being
much
with
for
us
having me.
today.
You were
It was
awesome.
so nice to meet you. Thank
too.
you so much.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing your lead role in Convenience
Thank
and your new movie 75. That looks
Appreciate
really
it.
interesting. Yeah. So thank you again for tuning in to the Artist Spotlight. We featured Corum Sanford today. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rotting Corpse Productions, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.